Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby. I'm with Fitness is Medicine, and today I'm going to give you a workout again that you can do in your home with minimal equipment. We are going to use a few different things today, but we can always substitute with other objects. So I'm going to have you get a band ready for some rows, and you can use that same band or get another one. We're going to do some reverse flies and a set of dumbbells and a kettlebell if you have one. If you don't have one, you can use one of your dumbbells, so that's easy. Or you can always use, a gallon jug of water or something like that. So we're going to get started. Make sure you come into this warmed up and ready to move. Do 5 to 10 minutes of a warm up to get your heart rate up and your muscles ready to move. I always say that, but I don't always explain why. Part of it is so that your muscles are warm, and that can help you avoid injury. And second of all, it opens up your blood vessels, kind of dilates them, starts getting blood flow moving, get your heart ready for exercise, get your heart rate up a little, and just kind of gets you in the mindset as well. So there's a lot of aspects that are really important to getting in a good warm up. Okay, so we're going to start with a row, like I said. So have your band here about chest height or so. I'm going to have you alternate the rows. So we want to start in a good athletic position. So knees bent slightly, hips back slightly, not a squat, but just, a good position ready to move. So what happens is when you stick your hips back a little bit, your abs also engage, protecting your back, and you're ready to move. So shoulders down and just set. So when I talk about having your shoulders set, meaning you're not like this, you're pulled back, ready for movement. Okay, so we're going to move one arm at a time. So just driving your elbow towards the back of the room, nice and slowly. And remember, like I always say, you can always get a heavier band or double up bands. Move further away, give a little bit more resistance that way. But if you need less resistance, you can step closer to the wall. There's a lot of ways to alter the resistance of these bands. Make sure you let it back slowly so you're controlling that band, not the other way around. Don't let the band pull you back. So you want to go nice and slowly. Think about driving that elbow towards the back of the room and squeezing your shoulder blade toward your spine. One more on each side, and release. Okay. Next, we are going to do a kettlebell squat, which we've done in the past, but I'm going to have you do a little bit different hold on the kettlebell. So if you don't have a kettlebell, like I said, use a dumbbell or a gallon jug of water or something. Now, sometimes I have you hold it like this. I'm going to have you flip it upside down and hold it like this. So you're holding it a little differently. You're going to hold it nice and close to your chest to keep that center of gravity right over your hips. So I'm going to have you sit back into a squat, just holding this extra weight. We're not going to do anything extra with it, but I'm giving you a little more resistance for those legs. And having your arms hold it also gives your arms a little bit of a workout. Just keep it nice and close to your chest. Remember, when you sit back in a squat, you want to stick your hips back like you're going to sit down into a chair. Your ankles will bend forward just a little bit, but you want to do your best to keep your knees a little bit more over your ankles. Also, keeping them going straight forward versus sometimes people have a problem where their knees collapse in a little bit. Really think about keeping them straight forward over those ankles. Okay, good. Now remember, when you're setting weights down, mimic that squat so that you're using good muscles. You're not just dropping it down and putting your back at risk. Okay, now we're going to grab those dumbbells. We're going to do a biceps curl into a shoulder press, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently than we've done it in the past. So just a good solid position with your feet. I need to raise up my camera a little here. See if that did the trick. Ooh, that's a little far. Okay, so we're gonna do a bicep curl. And then keeping your hands in the same position, pressing up like this. So let them all the way down. We're gonna keep our palms in the same position the whole way. So I'm not gonna have you turn it. This is the way we've done it in the past. So this is a little more biceps heavy. So good, solid stance with your feet and straight up like that. Breathe all the way through. Let your arms go all the way straight at the bottom of your biceps curl. If this is not working very well, you can try a lighter weight. It's a little bit harder lifting up like that, but you know, when we're lifting things in daily life, we don't always have the best handhold on it, and sometimes it's a little bit awkward. You know, like if you're holding a shelf, or if you're, you know, helping hang things, or got a little hair. So working on different holds and different ways of pressing things can help you in your day-to-day life. Pressing it straight up, almost like you're going to be, you know, if you were going to be pressing something up and holding it, that's the muscles we're working on. So it's a little bit different on your biceps and a little bit different on your deltoids, but just a good, solid range of motion here. I have no idea how many we've done. We'll call that one 10. Okay, now we're going to lower to the floor and do a hip extension on your hands and knees. I'm gonna lower that down just a little bit. So on your hands and knees, hands directly below your shoulders, knees directly below your hips. You're gonna stick one leg out straight, and we're gonna just do a kind of a small range of motion leg lift here. This is a hip extension. So we want to keep your leg straight here. Really emphasizing those glutes and your hip stabilizers. You will feel this a little bit in your hamstring, even though the hamstring curls the leg, but you will probably feel this just a little bit as well in your hamstring. Now, you're only going to about level here. We don't need to go way up here. You want to keep your back level, like you have a teacup on your back. And then almost down to the ground, but don't touch if you can. If this is a lot of work and you feel like you need to, you can rest at the bottom, and that's okay. All right, good. Now we're going to switch legs. Stick the other leg back, nice and straight, just straight up, so it's about level with the rest of your body. And also with your head here, you want to keep your head in line with your spine, so don't drop it down to look at your leg, or conversely look like you have to look across the room. You want to keep your head in line, keep your cervical spine in line with the rest of your spine so that it's not being torqued in any way. We don't want to create any neck pain here. 2 more. Okay, now if you're really feeling like you would like to stretch, sitting back in a child's pose after one of those feels really good. All right, now we're going to stand back up. So we'll use that good floor to stand transition. And grab your band again. I'm just using a different one. And we're going to do reverse flies, but I'm going to have you stand in a tandem stance. And we're going to make an X. So instead of just straight back, one arm's going to go up and back while the other arm goes down. So think about making an X. Importantly, when your arms, that top arm goes up, don't let your shoulder also go up. So shoulders stay down away from your ears, and you're squeezing back using those postural muscles. We're going to work on about 10 on each side here. And depending on the strength of band that you have, you may need to hold it closer or further apart to get that range of motion. You want to stop when you become in line with your body. You don't need to go way back here. That's kind of an unnatural range of motion. So stop when you're in the same line with your body. Let's do one more on each side. All right, good. So diagonal or X reverse flies. Now remember, the next time you go through this, stand with the other foot in front to challenge that balance. Okay, now we're going to lower back down to the floor. Make sure my camera is seeing me here. Okay, so we're going to lie down with your knees bent, flat on your back, and we're going to do penguin abs. So keeping your hands here on the ground, and your goal is to reach side to side, like you're going to reach towards your ankles, towards your heels. Now, right now, my shoulder blades are on the ground. One thing you can think about, because I know sometimes this is sort of like sit-ups and how you can sometimes have a little neck pain. One trick is to stick your tongue on top of the roof of your mouth. Another one is to think about being pulled up towards the ceiling versus this way. So up this way. So there's a few levels here. So just lifting your head off and reaching towards those heels. And then if that feels okay and your neck's doing okay and everything, you can also work on getting those shoulder blades up off the ground. Keep breathing. Okay, so thinking about being pulled up towards the ceiling with those is kind of the trick. If you think about a rope, if there were a rope coming out of your sternum that was going to pull you up towards the ceiling. So you want to think about going up versus crouching. So it's a really fine, minute movement, but the more you think about that, the more you can keep your back a little bit straighter and be pulled this way versus crunching this way. And hopefully your neck will do okay with those. All right, thank you everybody. Go through these one or two more times, add a little cardio in between for a good full body workout, getting that heart rate up and keeping it up throughout your workout, and follow with a good stretch, stretching all of those muscles that we've talked about before. If you need to, you can go back and find that stretch video I did a while ago and follow that through, and that's a great way to make sure that you're getting all of your necessary stretches. All right, thank you everybody, and I'll see you next time.